Please avoid damaging yourself or others while you are out.
Guns in the outer worlds are built to be customized and modified with different barrels, scopes, and magazines. Fast travel is a convenient way of moving to areas they have already explored. There is 3 types of armor: light, medium, and heavy. Heavy armor provides the most protection, and light armor provides better skill bonuses. Faster than light skips, drives are commonly second hands.
The captain did right by us once. Now it's
What was that?
the board will never own groundbreakers. Not while I do.
Yeah! Fuck these guys. My bitches are here, what's up?
Skills are unrivaled.
Yo, aren't you killing them?
Confession now.
Everybody had to die. I don't know what happened, but I think I just killed somebody.
labyrinth. Perhaps we should all meditate on that as we make our descent.
Getting in's one thing. Let's just hope we're able to get out again. Nice of them to leave us a few options.
Got your paperwork squared away?
Progress. Error. Employee information not found. Error. Transfer request not found. State your employer. Register. A fine of 10,000 bits will be assessed in your corporation's ledger for failure to follow transfer.
What are you doing? You didn't play? Huh? What? When's she coming? Hmm?
Let's go, troops. Stellar Base counting on us.
What? Are you new here? I didn't think we were hiring more staff. Oh, that's great. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Hold it. Something about you doesn't look right. That's not what I'm saying. Whoa!
All right, MSI. I'm not one for rousing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So get in there and fight!
Guess this is it, huh?
Everything in my life has been leading up to this point. I believe I am ready for this.
After all you've done, all the work your misguided crusade has doomed Halcyon. Idiot! I'm not the one marching to my death in a maximum security. In any other circumstance, I'd admire your boldness. In this one, however, I have only 2 words for you. Fuck off. Psychopathic outlaws don't do... Thankfully, you're in a prison already. Find the nearest cell and wait until I'm done here. Then I'll drag you to the executioner myself. Is that sarcasm? Do you know what I do to people who employ the lowest, most base form of humor? In the next room is the finest automechanical purveyor of death ever made. Try not to scratch the paint with your skull. It was fucking expensive. Absolutely not. Akande was always the sociable one, not me. Need I repeat the magic 2 words?
I will end you. research too. Hmm?
Victory is their defeat.
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You lunatic. You broke into the board's own fortress and killed the chairman just to rescue one doddering old man? You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough. Ah, all in a day. You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so... You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated. Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they...
They haven't exactly been hands-on around here anyway. So there's one less rubber stamp to worry about.
Earth is humanity's home planet, Miss Fenhill. The psychological effects of losing our original home will be devastating.
Earth is only an idea to us. But that idea is the bedrock the colony is built upon. If people were to find out it's gone dark, the shock could be too much to bear.
I don't want to imagine what will happen once news gets out. Let's just keep this between us for now. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means
Oi,
for
folk
Halcyon?
makker
We
den.
can't
Her
rely on
delay.
Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own. Yes, certainly. I'll help. I don't know what happened, but something must have gone horribly wrong. We have no connection back to Earth. You might have heard of the Earth. That was 2 years ago. We haven't heard. I wasn't trying to hide the truth. Yeah. You are my first and only success. I didn't tell you about the others because I didn't want to burden you. My failures are my own to bear, not yours. Thank you. Perhaps if you have any more questions... Yes, we must... We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us?
Cheyenne.
When I had our roles reversed. We're not a colony and our future is...
Ki. Hey, karısına gille, he? Karısına gille.
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair.
Yeah, I'm
Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars.
You do?
Hope scientists
Too bad. How are you gonna
woke
get
up
it?
in a colony descending headlong into total collapse.
Yeah, there's like $20 in my
no way to
wallet.
return to Earth.
Is that gonna be enough?
They had no choice but to band together.
Kana eingang.
Saving Halcyon.
Kayveni geçiyor. Na. Kaytan
The
na.
people of
Kayleta
Halcyon
ne
were
hon
nothing
surde.
if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Between MSI's worker-centric policies and the iconoclast's manpower, Sanjar and Zora were able to rally many of the Terra 2 townships to their cause. MSI's workforce swelled, and the iconoclasts enjoyed a significant surge in their ranks. The board was too distracted by infighting and internal politics to stop MSI from becoming a powerful corporation and a refuge for townships that might have fallen through the cracks. Consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took Sublight Salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy. One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking bay silenced her forever. Time would tell if her replacement could keep the Sublight family together. The collapse of Edgewater left its workers bereft of any purpose in life. Most of them made their way to Adelaide McDevitt's camp, hoping to ingratiate themselves into her favor. Adelaide accepted only a few to her community. The rest were turned away and likely died of starvation. Nevertheless, Adelaide's camp grew into a well-established town. Adelaide McDevitt refused to cooperate with the ongoing effort to save Halcyon from collapse. A sympathetic deserter stole a copy of her research and delivered it to the Hope's scientists. It is unclear how useful Adelaide's research was. An optimistic estimate suggests her work may have bought Halcyon another few years of survival. Adelaide
för då
would
laget
never
den här
know.
runt då.
She died that winter.
Nej.
Under the leadership of Junlei
Nej, för då laget den här runt
the
då.
groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers, schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the groundbreaker looks
When are you gonna
promising.
go?
The rediscovery of the
Huh?
hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly
Afo
everyone
aile
had
koiben
to
nije
learn
re.
to make do with less.
Zaimendan Bangladeshe koiben.
Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other people.
Nej, annare tele verisen.
With a steady
Det.
income from the life insurance
Det du såg tänne går
able to
du
afford a
kallar
ship of her
det.
own. She hired a small crew.
Det
and
kille
flew
matar mitt
supplies
tänne
to
går
the
rätt, hä?
communities on the fringe. Some of them were even legal. As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on, to live out the life he had sought so
Tele
long.
mano shemara kalli. Annare tele
He knew
mirun.
there were many in the colony who carried burdens
Det är
much
Sara
worse
Kitsu
than
sina
the ones
nalagese.
he had struggled with. And he
Anne går
devoted
novizi
himself to
novizi
easing
konder,
their
novizi
suffering
shamer det
wherever he
siloni.
could. He only ever took up arms again to defend the
Hatta illa så.
defenseless, unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself. Vicar Maximilian de Soto was finally at peace. Once the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker, and Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed. The stories of her adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters and wildcat miners sought her out by name. And in no time, she was a fixture in the Groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem. She and Junlei were never far apart. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, a mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide, or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories, could find her camping on the trail or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. He eventually came to terms with his own past and was able to forgive the mistakes of his younger self by devoting his remaining years to serving the colony. In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope. Over the next decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining colonists were successfully revived. Halcyon saw a period of rapid technological and scientific advancement. Breakthroughs in dietary supplements saved the colony from starvation. Geoengineering projects and social reforms began to change the structure and character of the colony. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Today, Halcyon has stabilized. The people of the colony work hard to adapt to their new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and supplies. Life will never be easy in Halcyon, but for the first time in its history, there exists a sense of real, genuine hope about the future. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? Long after Wells passed away, you carried on his work with more energy, determination, and brilliance than he could ever muster. The years that followed were hard, but Halcyon survived by the efforts of the Hope's most promising colonists, the greatest of which was you. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.